the most tremendous new musical experience you can have.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Logan. I'm here just to get y'all these quick reviews to the 5 albums that I feel like didn't quite have enough to talk about to make their whole video for, but are still good albums, you know? Still worth talking about. You know, at least they were big enough that I listened to them. So I just want to get a couple of quick thoughts on them and a rating on them. First off, the only one that I really felt like I could have made a full review for, well, there were 2 that I could have made a full review for, but Tory Lanez with Daystar. Yeah, we all know what's been going on with Tory Lanez with the Megan Thee Stallion. He shot her in the foot and she called him short, blah, blah, blah. He came out with a Me Against the World type album. It even intros with news excerpts of people talking trash about Tory Lanez, and then he just goes in. Shots at everybody. My specific favorite shot that he took was at Chance the Rapper. I love Chance the Rapper. He goes, Chance the Rapper, irrelevant, and then keeps rapping. I thought that was hilarious. I don't know. I've never been one to cancel someone in music. Like, separate the artist from the art. I do agree with that, but I do think that if the whole Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion story is true, is a terrible person, and deserves some type of action taken against him, but I'm not going to get too into that. I'm just here to talk about the music, and the music was pretty decent. At times, I do wish he would have gone off the focus of that one specific incident, but I do get that is the entire point of the album. I also think that this is not the best way to address that. I feel like you should have come out into the public, and if you are saying that it's all a lie, which it does seem like that's what he came off with at times, saying stuff like, you know, their camp is trying to send him money, like hush money. You could have addressed that in a different way other than trying to make money off of album sales, if I'm going to be totally honest. But overall, this album was pretty good. It's a little bit over an hour long, but I mean, Tory brings really good energy. I like those type of attacking albums. It's almost like Kamikaze to a degree, and I feel like it's going to be just like Kamikaze in that no one's going to care about it in a couple weeks. Not many people care about it now. Eminem didn't have people hating on him before. Well, I mean, he did, but not for reasons outside of music. Tory, yeah, I don't know. This one's just not going to work for him. But overall, I enjoyed the album. I think it's a decent 7 out of 10. I mean, it's an enjoyable album putting everything else aside and just listening to the music. Obviously, knowing the situation because that is contextual, but like, if you put aside any judgment, it's enjoyable, but you know, if you're not able to do that, don't check this out because it's all about that. For the record, again, I don't want to get too far into it, but I tend to believe the victim in this case, so yeah, if the story's true, yeah, Tory's a terrible person, but decent album, I guess. After that, we got Paris with Safe Space Invader. Now, Paris is an artist who's been going since 1990 with his album The Devil Made Me Do It. I listened to that one for the first time this past February during Black History Month when I decided to do a listen through of some of the most pro-black, you know, most important black albums in history. Mostly rap albums, but I got a little bit of other stuff in there, of course, such as some Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, blah, blah, blah. This was aggressive. He's always been aggressive, but he has a really good voice for aggressive flows. He has some good bars. This was a good album, I'm going to be totally honest. Most of it was very similar to something Public Enemy would do. Ironically, they do have an album together back in like 06, 07. But very political, very, very attacking Trump, specifically with the song, what was it, Baby Hands Man, Baby Hands President. Yeah. That was like a straight up diss track to Trump. Regardless, I mean, his bars were great. His flows were great. The beats were very solid. I mean, it sounded like he updated with the times a little bit even. Unlike Public Enemy with their most recent album. Not to compare these two too much. It's just that they've had really long careers. I mean, this is the 30th year in his career, so that's pretty incredible. And for him to have something, I mean, I feel like this album's not going to have staying power just because Again, it's basically all about politics today. Granted, a lot of it's about racism, and I mean, that point we're at, that's probably always going to be around, unfortunately. But at the same time, it has a lot to do with Trump, and I mean, 50 years from now, the kids who were born, who had just been born and are just becoming of age to listen to Rap 1, I don't think will be listening to Paris, because this one flew very far under the radar. And I have rap fanatic friends who don't know who Paris is, surprisingly. But two, they're not going to care that much about Trump's presidency. They're going to have their own president to complain about, you know. That being said, though, it was released in 2020, and that's extremely relevant. So I think it's a 7.5 out of 10 right now. I liked it. Now after that, I'm going to talk about Action Bronson's Only for Dolphins. Make this one the shortest one of all of them. Action Bronson, I like Action Bronson. I think he's a great artist. I've never loved many projects that he's put out, especially recently. He has the same gimmick all the time, and it doesn't always work for me. He's a very good lyricist. He's got a decent flow, usually a really good flow, but on this one, I don't know. I wasn't vibing with this one that much. Just like his last one that came out, I think last year or the year before. Either way, no, I just... This one didn't do it for me. A lot of the stuff he's talking about doesn't resonate with me either. If you're an Action Bronson fan, you'll enjoy this because this is more stuff from him that I don't know what to say. This one's just very run-of-the-middle for me. Like, I don't know. 5.5 out of 10. I don't have much to say about it. I listened to it one time and nothing stuck with me to make me say, you know what, I want to listen to it again, you know. It's just how I felt. After that, we got ASAP Ferg with Floor Seats 2. Now, Floor Seats 1 I thought was decent, but I didn't like it as much as his previous projects. Obviously, it being an EP, and this one as well, compared to being full albums of his previous three. I enjoy Ferg. I don't think he's ever released an overall great project, but I don't think he's ever released a bad project, or even a mid project. I think they've all been generally positive, you know. Floor Seats 1 was probably my least favorite of everything he dropped, like I said, including this one. This one brought some heat to it. I mean, it had a lot of energy, obviously, with songs like Value, which has been out for a minute. He had some good features. He brought Puff Daddy out on a track. He brought Nicki Minaj out on a track. He had Marilyn Manson credited on a track titled Marilyn Manson. I thought that was strange, but regardless, I really enjoyed this EP. I thought it was solid. It's pretty short. I think it's like 30-ish minutes, about 10 tracks, and I mean, it's easy to listen to. Very fun. You'll find some takeaways from it, certainly. If nothing else, at least Value, but I like the Nicki Minaj song. Overall, I'm going to go with a 7.5 out of 10 on this one. I liked it a lot. Not something that I'm going to come back to and listen to the whole thing very often, but a couple of tracks here and there, definitely. And finally, the Elzhi album. Was it like seven times down, 8 times up? I love Elzhi. You know, Elmatic was one of my favorite albums back when it came out. Of course, I didn't hear it right away, but I discovered him later on. And then Lead Poison? I'm blanking on the name either way. Lead Rain, something. Loved that album. I don't know why I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but loved that album. He always has really good concepts, and he brings that through on this one, especially with songs like G.O.D. Of course, referring to God, but he's referring to the God that people have individually. And he refers to a couple different things. It's like an acronym, you know. And at the very end, it has a funny skit where he's like, I remember when all you needed was good old dick. That's pretty funny. But, yeah, I thought that was a really solid track. Overall, I think this is a pretty decent album. It's not as good as his past two by any means whatsoever, because I think those are at least 8s, if not 9s. But this one was still pretty good, pretty enjoyable. Got a lot of stuff you could easily enjoy and vibe with, because he does have that really laid-back sound. Almost like a more aggressive Coda the Friend. Yeah, I enjoy his music still. And I thought this was good. I wanted it to be good enough to be worth doing a full review for, but it wasn't quite that good. So overall, I'm going a 7.5 out of 10. There wasn't much to break down other than the one G.O.D. song I really enjoyed. And yeah, that's all that I listened to this week. 8 albums I've done reviews for now. The 3 that I did full reviews for, and then the 5 today that I did the quick reviews for. If you enjoyed any of these, hit the like button and comment what your thoughts on them were. If you haven't listened to them, I mean, give the ones that I recommended to listen to if you found anything you thought you'd find enjoyable based on my reviews. Like I said, make sure to hit that like button and comment, subscribe, hit the bell next to my name for notifications, whatever else you want to do, blah, 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 share me, whatever those good things are, all right? I appreciate y'all, and I'll hit y'all up next time.